What's going on, guys? So today we're going to be setting up a tank. It's going to be a carpet aquarium. At least we're going to try to make it a carpet aquarium with no CO2. The way we're doing this, I got a used tank from a friend of mine. He gave it to me for free. Really nice of him. This is a 5.5 gallon tank by Fluval. It has a really nice light on it. Hopefully it's going to grow some good plants for us. And it has all the filtration built into the back. So what we're going to do, obviously I need to clean this out first. I bought some planting substrate here by Fluval. I got this for free. I gave 20 bucks just to be nice, but basically I got this from a friend. You buy this tank, it's about $100. The substrate was around $27. I bought some flourish tabs here. It comes with 10 tabs. Won't really need these that much with the substrate, but since I bought them, I'm still probably going to use a tab, break it up, put it on the bottom layer there, do about 1 inch or 2 of substrate. We have some carpeting plant here. It looked really good. Probably can't see it much from that far away, but we're gonna break this up, spread it out, and I will put a link for the name. It has it right here, but I'm not gonna attempt to pronounce it. And then last thing I have here are a lot of planting, scissors, tweezers, all that good stuff. I did go ahead and buy the nicer ones. These are from Seaguardy or however you say that. I'm gonna put that name down below also. They were around $30 for all of this here. You can buy cheaper ones, or maybe $10 or $13 for a pack, but they're not going to have that fine point tip for planting smaller stuff. So I think these are going to be very helpful. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this out, show you how we set it up, and then we'll hopefully do a progression of this tank as everything grows and kind of give you guys some feedback, because I'm not a plant guy really that much right now, but I hope to learn a lot more. I've been researching a lot and I know how to do this, but obviously you learn the best from just doing things hands-on and actually experimenting with some things. So that's what this video is going to be about. We're going to set the tank up, we're going to give this tank time to grow, and we're going to kind of document it along the way. So I'm going to go ahead and just take everything apart and clean this tank out. Obviously if you're buying it new, you won't have to do much prep work. But if you already have a tank and you want to kind of restart it, you can drain it, get all the substrate out. Just clean the glass off nicely. You have a good starting point, but we're just going to spray it down, clean this tank, and then we'll go from there. Now we got our tank all cleaned up, we are ready to add some substrate. Here's our aquarium soil we're using here. This is by Fluval. I'll put some links below for this. But we're going to go ahead and just add a thin layer of this to the bottom. We're going to add some fertilizer tabs, and we're going to start putting our plants in there. I do have a little bit of water in the bottom here. You can do this dry. The only reason I did that is because I put a little bit of water here to test my pump was still working. The hose was very hard to connect on this tank because I had to take the pump out and put it back in. Very tight fitting, and the little elbow here would not come out without having to break it. So that's why there's a little bit of water in here. It's going to be fine because you are supposed to plant the substrate by misting it, keeping it wet. It's good to have it dry. It's good that we don't have more water than substrate. We wouldn't want to have like 4 gallons of water here, or 4 inches of water. Otherwise I would dump it out and restart. But just for the purpose of this, so you know why there's water in the bottom, you don't have to do that. But we're going to go ahead and level this out, and we'll start planting after I add some root tabs. Since I don't think I need many root tabs in this tank with this substrate, I just use one. It says to use one for every 6 inches. But I used one and I broke it up into pieces, just folded a paper towel over it and kind of smashed it up. So that's all throughout the tank. Now take a look at this plant here. So this is going to be a carpeting plant. It's going to be harder to grow, I'm assuming, but we're going to see how this works out. I'm going to take this apart, remove the gel, get it all laid out here, and then we're going to start planting this tank. Okay, so I spread this out the best I could. Now we need to fill the tank up with some fish tank water. Very important, I'm gonna layer the whole bottom with paper towels so when I fill it up, I don't destroy all my work. It usually works for the most part. This stuff's very fine, so I'm just doing my best. Hopefully it works out. And I'll show you guys when this tank's all filled up. I'll let it run for a day or so, and then I'll show you what it looks like. Alright, so here's the tank the next day. And funny enough, I drained the tank straight from here. It was really easy. I just siphoned it out, but I did catch out a little baby guppy. So this guy's gonna stay in there and just hang out, but I think the plants look pretty good. They were real smashed down at first, and I didn't know what they looked like the next day. But now time will tell, see how this tank really does, if the plants melt back and die, or if they start to take off and really just start to carpet this. But I want just a really simple test tank where I can try to do some carpeting plants. Everything here with this light, I'm running on 8 hours a day, maybe ramp it up to 12 hours eventually, as long as I don't get algae. I have a cycled sponge filter, or a partially cycled sponge filter. It sat in the tank for about a week, so not super long, by no means fully cycled. But we do have established aquarium water in here, and not going to be much of a waste load at all because we only have one little fish in here. But we're going to give these plants time to grow and keep you guys updated. Okay, so jumping forward about 2 weeks, a little bit under, it's been about 20 days. So the tank is looking really good in my opinion. Obviously it is a long way from being a full carpet. You can see we've had plenty of growth, and the plant or the leaves just look so much more bright green. They're really growing, they're really alive. Just looking so much better. Really happy with this tank. And to be honest, whenever I bought this plant, I didn't know much about it. I've done a lot more research, and these plants actually, it's a carnivorous plant, if I'm saying that correctly, and they feed off of organisms in the water, things like that. So I'm not really sure. I was a little hesitant if this was going to grow well, if it was going to die off in the tank. Things that I've done since I set this tank up, and this guppy here was here originally, and he just got sucked up into the hose whenever I was pumping water from the tank behind it. So that was an accident, but I wanted to put 1 or 2 fish in there anyway, just to have something eating, going to the bathroom, continuing to keep the filter cycled or starting to cycle it more. I did add another guppy in here, just a cool little albino guppy that I had. He's somewhere in the tank, I saw him a second ago. I went ahead, I added a little baby shrimp, and he's been growing a lot because he's all by himself. I added a couple scuds to the tank, which are basically this little like tiny shrimp, kind of like organisms that'll breed in the tank, and I'm kind of thinking the plants might feed off them, but that's all just kind of little things I've tried. I don't know how important that is. I've been crushing up very small flake food, powdered algae wafers, and just kind of sprinkling it in the tank. Mostly food for the guppies, but also thinking that maybe the plants are going to feed off it as well. Just kind of testing out this tank, but whatever I'm doing I think is working. A really important thing to do with this plant, this light's almost so bright, we're getting some more glare. It does have a cool blue light as well. I'll put that on so you can see the plants a little bit more without over brightness. But basically this plant, the first week or so, the first few days, you're gonna have a lot of them float to the top, and they'll get sucked up to the filter, right along the filter like this. That's where having a really small fine tip tweezers and planting tools are going to be really important. These would be your best friend, where you can just take a pinch of this, take it down. I'll actually turn the light back on. Sorry, that's probably not any better. But like all these up in the front, those were floating around. I pinched them, put them back down. Same with that there. These clumps in the back to the left right there, all of that was floating around. I just took pinches of it and shoved it down. This plant, basically all of it has roots. Every little single leaf on this in this tank, they have a root to it. So anything floating around, you can take a pinch of it, push it down pretty deep into the substrate, just so a little bit's showing, and it'll grow, just keeps on spreading. Debating on like this back right, it's grown so much since day one. I think I had a little bit too much of the gel actually in there that it was really hard to remove, and I think that's kind of dispersed into the water. I think the shrimp in the scuds, things like that have kind of helped eat it and kind of break up any dead plant matter. But I'm really liking this tank so far. Just kind of a progress, because I really wanted to add on to this video, not just end it where it was. I wanted to show you that it is working, because if it didn't work, I probably wasn't going to share this video. But right here you can see that little clump is already spreading left and right, and it's only been 20 days, so who knows, maybe next month, maybe 2 or 3 months, this whole bottom of the aquarium will be carpeted. So really excited about this tank. I think it's cool. Hopefully all my subscribers, you like the new content. I've been doing a lot more planted videos. Hopefully you don't mind it, but I'm new to planted tanks, and I think I can experiment a lot more and share things with you guys without being overly complicated and getting too far into it too quick. So I think it's a little bit more relatable. Thank you all for watching. All my subscribers, thank you very much for watching these videos that are a little bit different. If you're new to the channel, you like these videos, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when I update new videos. Thank you all for watching. Stay tuned. There'll be more content coming out soon, and I have some guppy videos coming out because I know you guys like those. But thanks again. Check out these videos I'm posting on the screen of some of my older videos, and I will talk to you guys very soon.